What's up, YouTube? Thanks for tuning in, guys. 7 people already. That's cool. Might wait for a couple more people to filter in. Let me just share the link to Discord. Be right with you. Share, copy link. Here we go. Apps locks. That should get it going. Wow, the webcam's like blurry for some reason. I haven't done like a camera one in a while. Put the price up here a little. Let me see. Actually, no, I'm not going to switch my headphones out because the last time I did that, I lost my audio. So we'll just keep it like this for now. Just gonna adjust the music 1 second. So something, I guess the last time I sort of streamed, we were trying to get above 38,000 still. We were in this ascending triangle formation, something like that. We finally broke out recently, which is really cool. Very good. So it was a textbook play. It was a textbook breakout. If anyone was tracking that, you know, getting in roughly at these highs, that's all good. You wrote it up and it's like about almost 7% up from there, from the breakout. And to where it's heading, where I think it might head to test, I've got a couple of levels. There's the 0.5 fib at 42,200-ish, like around here. And then we've also got, let me just zoom out. I'm gonna jump on a different time frame for that. And oh yeah, by the way, this is this parabolic arc that I'm keeping an eye on. So this is definitely playing out like a parabola, like this last few days. So we'll see how that pans out. Just be cautious. I wouldn't be buying at this level. I would be, you know, either you're in a position or you're waiting for a responsible pullback to get in rather than just jumping in. But you know, if you're playing it, if you're scalping it like on a short time frame, then you can do that any day of the week. It doesn't matter. You just have to make sure you have your stop losses in play, that kind of thing. But let's see. We're about an hour and a half, about an hour and a half into this current daily candle. But being a Monday, so that's cool. Oh, Donnie, $10 super chat. We made it. I'm out of my Bitcoin trade. Sweet, man. That's cool. So obviously that means you made money. So that's excellent. Thanks, Donnie. Appreciate that. Thank you for the support. I'll have to jump in and say hello in a minute. All right. Now let me just take a step back on this chart. So yeah, parabola still in play, like right to this, even to this minute, we're still finding new highs. So it's been very bullish for the last few hours actually. So that's been cool. I'm going to go out to the daily. That's right. I was going to discuss where I think the resistances live. So to do that, I'm going to hide some of this noise on the chart. So we got I'll bring the fib back at some point, but let's delete some of this. Just hide it. Yeah, hide that line as well. Okay, so from a Fibonacci, sorry, not a Fibonacci, but from a logarithmic perspective, we've actually erupted through the top of this rising channel, this rising wedge here. So that's very similar to what we did back here after the COVID crash. We had a rising wedge, and the textbook play would be, you know, short, you know, like you fall out of rising wedges usually, right? But we erupted through that, and that was off to the off to the bull run, off to the bull market. So that was, and I think I can see another one over here. There's actually a smaller one just over here, if you can see it. It's kind of like this-ish. It's like one roughly like that. Not as sharp. I mean, you'd have to extend the lines out to really get the apex of this wedge. But it is there. The structure's there as a rising wedge. And we erupted through the top of it. So these climbing channels are not uncommon on Bitcoin. There's been a few in the past. Here's another like rising kind of channel. See this here, this actually behaved more to what you would expect for a textbook play. So if you go something like this, that's a rising wedge, and that's the reaction you get out of it. You fall out the bottom. But because this was such a strong trend, it found support very quickly after falling out, and you know, we were back off to finding new highs again. Very cool. So yeah, that's just to describe what I'm explaining now with where we're at. So we've just erupted through the top of it. And then look, from a linear perspective, we did that a long time ago. We did that back in early November. We already started, you know, leaving that top resistance. So that's cool. And right now it's like, okay, well, if we're traveling north, where's some levels to be cautious of? And I think that is, there's some fib levels to look out for. We've got the 0.5 fib, 42,200, and we've also got this. This is a big pivot point, and that is just below the 618 fib level. That's 48,500. I'm going to call it 48,000 just to be a bit more to err on the side of caution and be a bit more conservative with my targets. And that's what that's usually recommended, is to, you know, don't target things to the dollar. You want to be conservative with it so that you don't miss, you know, either entry or exit. You want to give the market some. So like calling the 0.5 fib, I would say more 42. Like just call it 42. Round it off, round it backwards, basically. Give the benefit of the doubt to the market, and don't expect it to hit it right on the nose. Same with the 618 fib level. You would treat that as 48k as a level. So with that being said, yeah, let's just see where it is. I'm not going to make a prediction and say that we're going to get here with any guarantee. I'm not going to say that we're going to get, you know, even here. Like we have to see the market produce it. But those would be the levels that I'm watching for any kind of reaction off. But even from here, it seems to be like a zone of a pretty clear shot. And look, there's a pretty big test up here if you can remember back to early 2021, when we first got our blue sky breakout, at the time, we shot up to 42 something or other, 42K, right? I'm just going to find what that price was. 41,950, so actually just short of 42. So this is why it's important to be cautious and be aware of what happened to the left of the chart. So I'll mark that out. Make it like yellow or something. But look at the reactions in the past off that level. Had one here, sort of one here, definitely there. Used it as like this was like a dirty test of support, like it actually kind of like came through it a bit, but more or less it's using this level, like it's a fairly significant level, 42,000, and it just so happens that it lines up with our 0.5 retracement level. So look, we are not far from that. Look at us. We're at almost $41,000 right now. We've shot from 40 to up to 40,700 very quickly. Like that's happened in the last few minutes. Look at this shot right here. Beautiful. So can I feel a top, like at least a point of exhaustion coming up soon? Yeah, I think it's reasonable to see maybe this zone here as a bit of a take profit area for some that are riding just the, you know, the short-term play. If you're an investor, like you're not looking to distribute per se. I think if you're playing the cycle, you're treating the dips as buying opportunities, and that's it. Everything else is just noise. Like the only thing you're really looking for are an opportunities to add to your position rather than trying to sell it. I think selling after the halving makes more sense. Like wait for what historically has been a good thing for Bitcoin, which is the halving, right? You get a rally after the halving and leading into it. So this is like sort of evidence of that rally leading into the halving. But yeah, this is really cool. December's shaping up to be a good month, just like November was. October, November, December. Look at that. Beautiful candles. It reminds me a lot of these kind of build-up candles that happen, you know, before potential, you know, further upside. But we just hope it's not one of these. Well, it's likely it could shape up to be like this, you know, like you get this move up, this relief move up. And look, this is important too, because the Fibonacci we're looking at now is from the all-time high that we're working with right down to the low that we were able to set in on the bear market. So that is similar to what happened here. We had an all-time high and we had a bear market low. So we want to know where this terminated. Like what part of the fib retracement did we reach? And that is, I'm pretty sure, the 618 fib level. Yep, there it is. So if I lock that in, let me just hide the other fib because that's going to get in the way. Okay, there we are. So if I just, let's go back to like the weekly or something, and I'll zoom out. So you can see that this relief rally that came off the back of the bear market came up and it actually got above the 618 fib level. It wicked up through it, but you can see that the weekly candles just could not get like a good solid close above the 0.5 fib level. So if that's any kind of measure to go by, then we're not even at the 0.5 fib yet. So if we get any kind of repeat of that, like this time around in the cycle, then there's still some headroom to go. There's still some room to go. You know, if we're going to get at least a 618 test, that is, let's find out. Let me delete that. I'll bring back that other fib. Yep, if we get a 618 test, that is 48,500. You know, if we get some wicks coming up here, you could see 48, even maybe 50 if we get lucky. If we get a wick to throw up to 50, I could see that potentially playing out, and then maybe that's where we cap out, and then, you know, the rest of December or even into January is like a bit of a sell-off, and we get, you know, this kind of action, like back into like a reaccumulation phase as we build up back into the toward the halving. So, and that's provided we behave exactly the way this happened. And you know, it doesn't have to be a carbon copy of this, but it's a ballpark of what might happen, you know. Let me open up the index chart because that has a bit more price history on it. I've put the halvings in from the previous halvings. Let me just see Bitcoin halving date 2024. I just want to see where I'm going to drop this line in. So currently it's predicted to happen around the 19th of April. So let's find that on the daily chart where that's going to be. 19th of April next year. There. That is where the next halving could fall, like around that area. If I zoom out and go logarithmic, this is comparatively similar, I think, to back here. Look at this one. This is the bear market of 2014, and we double bottomed, built up a consolidation box, and then, just like I said in the previous streams, we're tracking to look something like this. This wasn't a double bottom, but it was, you know, a low followed by an FTX crash lower low. But the way we're coming up out of it is very similar to what happened here. And look what happened. Like, we had like a 2-year bull run. Actually, more than that. I think it was, you know, if you're calling the start of the bull run, you know, around mid to mid-late 2015, running all the way up to late 2017. That's like 2.5 years roughly. So if we do that this time around, the bottom's here, 2.5 years from November, December of last year, puts us midway through 2025 to get to an all-time high. So, you know, we've still got all of next year to ride potentially a bull run. So if we're comparing, like, if we're suggesting that 2017 is going to be like similar to what 2025 produces, we're in 16. We're in these like steppy type bull trend modes. Now, check out what happens inside those boxes as well, by the way. It's one thing to go and test the top, but it tends to like come down and range to the bottom as well of the box, testing the previous highs. So coming up, back testing the previous highs, right? Coming up, back testing previous highs. Well, not quite on that one. That was actually a bit higher, but you get the gist of it, right? So if anything like that's going to happen, then I can see a potential back test of these previous highs. You know, it might not happen to the dollar, but it could come down, and we could see like low 30s again, maybe like 32,000, 30 if we're lucky to like buy again before, like, you know, like building back up and then establishing the next box. Maybe something like that could happen. Anyway, that's pretty much all I just wanted to cover, was have a look at the price action from the last few hours. Looks like we've got potentially a new high in the last few minutes. Where's my lines? I need to get my lines back on. What are these horizontals that I'm looking at? Eki Alb, hope you're well too, dude. Thank you. Oh, this is my index chart. That's why I don't have the lines. I'm just gonna save it, close it. Let's go back to that other chart that has the high line. Where's my orange level? Oh, key levels. That's right. Okay. Here we are. I have to keep moving this line. It's a happy problem to have. A very welcome problem. A happy accident, like Bob Ross. So right there, what are we? 40,872, and still climbing. We haven't lost the structure yet. Still climbing. Still looking good. What's up, OG Alchemist? Party hats. Is it your birthday? Feels like Bitcoin's having a birthday. Feels. Celebrating. Let me just go through the chat here. We've got Jay Cheddar. Hey, he was first. That's cool. Kenny from the A. Should I wait to enter? Yeah, look. I'm not going to give like out signals. I don't really want to get anyone stuck or in trouble with positions. So I would say just wait for pullbacks. Like wait for price to, you know, don't buy at peaks. Don't buy at highs. Like it's dangerous. You know, you can get stuck, and then in a drawdown, like you can make bad decisions. Like, you know, sell it at a loss, or, you know, so just try to give it a bit more thought before you take action, you know. At best, you know, follow your oscillators as well. That's another good way to do it. So I'm on the, let's go to the 15-minute. Bitcoin's been very difficult to get into if you're waiting for a dip. When it's bullish like this, like look at the stochastic, how it found support halfway up, and then the RSI, like it's finding support very high at the moment because everything's running so hot on Bitcoin on the smaller time frames. So it's not giving you really that many deep opportunities, like big pullbacks to find an entry. So you got to be careful. Crypto Burger says the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF will pump its price 10 times and block the retail investor from ever being a proverbial BTC whole coiner. Yeah, I can see that could be possible. A whole coiner, like owning a whole Bitcoin would be pretty cool. Love it when it goes up. Me too. That's what she said. What's up, Let's Mars? What's up, Skywalker? Where should I go all in? Go all in on the bottom of the market. That's where you should go all in. So you kind of miss the boat. 18 watching. Let's hit the like button. Yeah, smash the like button. We've got 23 viewers, 23 likes. I like it. Thank you. We are in the log fib GP at the moment. GP. What's the GP? Golden pocket? Yeah, golden pocket. I like the golden pocket. You got to be careful with that shit. What's up, DC Woodworking? How are you, man? Just turn this off. I need to relax my face. What? Okay. What do we got? What's Bitcoin doing? Look, it's in a bit of a pullback now. So, are you gonna trust the pullbacks? That's the thing with pullbacks. It's like, how do you have confidence that it's that it's gonna go up after, or during or inside this pullback? These pullbacks, like, where do you get in? What's the sign? There's many ways to do it, but it can be a bit tricky. One way to do it is it's actually what Crazy does. Crazy Fool in our Discord community. He's an ABC trader, but he does it higher time frame, obviously. This is what I'm about to show you is on the small time frame, but maybe it could still apply. But he picks a point, like any kind of move off a top. The first leg down is A. The reaction is B, like the move up. It's usually a lower high. And then C is like a lower low. So it's like this ABC sort of setup. And the entry comes when you get above A. So A is important. Mark A out. If you can identify an A, like this kind of formation, mark out A, draw a line across, treat that as like an entry line. And the way to take action on it is if you get back above A, and then you basically go long when price goes through A, and then your stop loss is either just below A or even at C, depending if you can afford that kind of a drawdown, like that kind of a stop out. But look, this one worked out really well. This was a good example of that kind of setup producing a move up. Let's see if I can find other ABCs. There's probably many of them. I think it works better on a higher time frame. So I'm going to see if there's any like 4-hour setups that have played out. I'm not really the master of this ABC thing. Hit up Crazy if you want to get the rundown on how to do it. But I think there was one that actually put him into this like bull market. Maybe it was something like this. Like A, B, C, and then when we got above A, like over here, he was in. So this was a test and rejection at A. Came back down, reapproached it, and if you get in here, you're off to the races. Like, the rest is history. Yeah, that's one way to find an entry. All right, enough jibber jabber. I'm just gonna watch Bitcoin. I want to see if it can keep this trend going. See what we can pull out of this market. Buy high, sell low. Buy low, sell high. Yep. Buy low, sell high is better than buy high, sell low. Yes. I agree. Good advice. Might pop into Donnie's Discord to see if he wants to have a chat. 1 second. What's up? Sorry to crash the party. I brought my Discord. I brought my YouTube stream in here. Hey man, not much, man. Just watching Bitcoin.
A beautiful thing, brother. I was so excited that that trade played out. I was
hell yeah.
That whole Ganzilla, setting up the GAN fans and working on the GAN project right there with Feather and the rest of the group in here, and I made a pretty hefty play on that, and I was being conservative, right? We've learned some new information in the past few days to help with the correlation of what we had already set up, so that was pretty cool, and to be able to watch that play out. I had my last target was 40,507.20, and I took it.
Nice, man. Here we go. Whereabouts did you get in? Like, was it?
The last time I bought, I looked, it was $32,122.
Whoa! Well done, dude. That is incredible.
Yeah, it was excellent, it was a test. It was a test of what we were doing with GAN. We wanted to see how far we could stretch it, right? If cool. I was going to trade my TA on it to see if we was right, and sure enough. And then the way I look at it is, I've still got part of my bag. I'm still holding 26% of my bag right now. And cool. The way I'm looking at it is, anything that happens past here is gravy money, right?
Right.
What? Because we figured this up to be the 1618. Yeah, we figured this 1618 on the Ganzilla, the 40,170 was what we figured out on that, and then we had heavy resistance past that, and so I was taking profit in between there.
Oh, okay. Oh,
so anything past this, that everybody talks about the 0.5 pip, the 42,000 whatever number.
Yeah, 42.2. Yep. Me included.
Yep. So
yep.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a great number, right? It's a very real number. Is there a chance? Is there a snowball's chance at going to the 618? Sure. But right now, I'm sitting comfortable. It's been a great past few weeks. I know everybody in here has had a great time trading and made some money, so everybody's tickled to death.
That's cool, man. That's great. And look, I would totally invite a big pullback, because I would buy the crap out of it. I would plant the seeds for the next move, the next leg.
Amen. And that's something we were already talking about, Rick. That's something I was saying. Look, guys, if we go back and we look at how familiar you are with the 14 pullback into the 15, 16 year, it's not unusual to see a retest of your highs, your previous highs. So, a pullback here, all it's going to do is give me a chance, taking profits on this swing right here, where I'm not a long-term investor. I'm just a money maker, right? So This gives me a chance to get back in at a low price one more time before we do this next massive bull run.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I feel like, people in this community are just getting more and more sophisticated with their, their how they play crypto, how they play the market. So, yeah, damn, that's good. We are basically becoming smart money.
Man, it's the group is what makes it, man. This group right here, Isaac's in here with me every day. Feather's in here with me every day. Poor Feather, she just works me to death, man. Good Lord.
That's cool. I haven't spoken to Feather before, I don't think.
It's amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah, you and Feather will get along perfectly.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll have to find out. I'll have to find out how it goes with learning more of that GAN thing, GAN theory, planet structure.
Yeah, it's been a fun experience, man, and to correlate it with the stuff that we build on the chart, and then take it, from the circle, and then bring it to the chart. And I don't, but just bringing that into play is just like, wow, that is amazing, and seeing it actually work. It's a good feeling, man, to put that much time and effort into something, and it actually play out. So
Definitely. I know
it's
the
a cool
vibe,
feeling,
man. It is. It's good, especially when you back it, where you actually do the play rather than just, do the TA for it but not actually play it. Because I've done many of those, like where I see something and I'll draw it out, plan it and everything, plot it out, but not actually play it. Just, sometimes it's through through a stream on YouTube. Like I'll plot out an idea but not actually take action on it, even when it was, really strong and right. But that's all good. It's all learning. Helps me like revise what I know too. Streaming, which is cool.
I'm like, we've already started our conversations on, where do we see the pullbacks at? We've already started doing the math on that, and making sure we're getting lined up so that we can start our buys. Know when we're going to start looking at our. We started working on that conversation this afternoon. Really good.
Sweet. Yeah, I would love a Bitcoin retest of 32. I don't know when, like if we see 42 first or 48 first before we do that, that could happen. But could it happen from here? Yeah, it could certainly happen from here. Like if we start really getting some heavy sell-off, that's the scary thing. I would be hesitant to go long up so high like this, because we've gone, we're on a parabola basically, like a short time frame parabola, like on like the 1 hour chart. I would be saying that's risky. Like jumping in here, if you're not already in a play, you're jumping in on a parabolic move up. That's dangerous, So
yeah, anything. I scheduled anything, and I told Isaac and them earlier. Anything after that 40,170 was all risky money. Any trade you take here is high risk. It would be just a big risk move. You said 32. To give you an idea, just some of the numbers, I'm just going to throw them out there. Some of the stuff that we were coming up with, 29.7 being like one of the low numbers. But that 31.4 to the 34.1 range is, about where we were looking at.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I'm going to draw a box around where I would see a potential bounce. Probably like a buy zone like that.
I mean, look, you know as well as I do. You've been here as long as I have. Anytime you see that kind of move, it's probably going to be one of those fast event moves. So that if we did see that 29.7, you better be on the trigger or already have your buy order set for it. Something that low is, you'll probably see that if we went that low, your 31 entry would probably be your more realistic entry.
Yeah, look, I think, by the way, if we get, I don't know if you can see my chart or anything, but if we get back, if we do get rejected and retrace and regain entry back into the big old rising wedge that we're in, then a point of support that I could see happening would be, at the support part of that wedge. Like the trend, getting back in touch with the trend and then bouncing off the trend before coming back again, like that. And that would put it at about, I don't know, the timing, like it depends on the timing, to where you fall in it, but like anywhere between 30 and say like 33. Like I guess the longer it takes to get back down, the higher it's gonna be, because it's a, it's a rising trend. so that the floor rises beneath us. But
so like one of the things that we've worked on has been the cycle timing, and you have like a 90-day cycle that happens in this inside of the bigger cycles, right? And we're starting to understand that a little better. So, and it's funny because if you noticed in the news the other day, they started talking about, they put the Bitcoin ETF news off until January.
right,
Now, what a coinky dink, right?
Hey,
So,
Donnie,
that's great.
Doge mission got pushed off till January too.
I don't want a result.
There's more.
I don't
Yeah,
want an
more news.
ETF result
Yeah.
until the new year. You know,
Yeah,
because
me
this hope and optimism about it, like this anticipation, is actually proving to be quite good for the market. Like everyone's still buying into that rumor, or not the rumor, but the anticipation of the result. Whereas if we got the result, it's like everyone packs up and goes, okay, well, it's done now. Like, what's the next catalyst? And that's the halving. That's a long way out still, 4 months or whatever.
So you figure between, let's just say this is the top. I don't know. Neither one
Just
of us know.
hypothetically, yep.
Hypothetically, if this is, the top, we're going to dance right here till tomorrow sometime. We got some volatile stuff happening. We got some moon and sun and Mercury and Venus and all these other planets that go crazy between now and Christmas. December 13th, you got Mercury involved. There's a lot of stuff that changes. So let's say we get our dip between now and January 1st. Of course, we always get our Christmas rally. So it'll be an impulse bounce off of one of the dips, right? That'll be your little Christmas rally, make everybody feel good. It'll finish going down. And then we go into the New Year's. They approve the Bitcoin ETF, and we go skyrocketing back up into the 40s off the floor again. This timing is just perfect.
Love it.
Yes.
Yeah. It becomes clearer the closer you get, huh? Like it. Yeah.
Rick,
you get
even
clarity,
a meme coin like Doge with a launch, having its launch pushed back into January to match up with other stuff, it's just like it's getting a little obvious.
I like it. I do like, dude, and I don't think it getting its. When did its date get pushed back? Like when did they announce? Oh yeah, we're moving the date.
That was this week. They put out more. They put out more Twitter announcements yesterday.
Yeah.
I follow that stuff now because it's funny how they're really starting to try to hype people.
Yeah. I gotta check out a Doge chart now that you've mentioned that. On like the daily.
Tomorrow
That's
I'll
cool.
talk to you about what I was looking at the Gaussian channels throughout its history.
Yeah, yes.
Today's weekly confirmed that Doge will move out and it will switch from red to green soon, the Gaussian. So we're in like 3 to 6 months to a parabolic movement almost.
I like it. Yep. That's really cool. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, maybe some of the best prices on Doge have come and gone, and it's like we're not going to see 5 cents, 6 cents again. Could be.
You may not see 5 or 6, but after the
maybe
run,
7.
if it does get a run up, it usually comes back down to test those structural areas. So you may see, 8 cents Doge very easily, very soon, and actually you may see 7.3 also.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be shocking at all. Yep.
I see that. Yep.
Because if you do get a chance and you go on your weekly on Doge Gaussian, just look at the bands even on the Gaussian, like the bottom where we could fall, and it's like, oh, okay, it still has play, but it is it's so early on for Doge still.
I'm gonna open up the Gaussian. And you said weekly?
The 1 week doesn't give false signals for what I use it for.
Right.
And it's interesting that we're starting to move up past that center line on the Gaussian and hold it with a weekly candle.
It's the cool thing is, it still very much reads as accumulation, which is good because it means you haven't missed the boat. If you think of the the broader picture of Doge. Yeah. Yeah.
Definite possibility, yes, sir.
But yeah, the daily, you're right. Like, ooh. Look at the way that it's like snaked down the Gaussian channel on the daily chart. It's pretty funny.
You're gonna laugh at this, but I can actually use the 15-minute Gaussian too
Yeah.
in a bullish pattern. It's kind of funny. It's just you really shouldn't, but it's doable. My thing is this past couple weeks, especially, instead of using other indicators, I use along with the actual market structure, how the candles look. I use the GAN fan more, like with what I mean with Donnie. Like instead of looking at all my other indicators to back up my structure, I use the GAN fan instead, and then just played around with the Gaussian instead of actually using it just to see if it was lining up with stuff.
Yeah.
So it's been fun.
Sweet. That's cool. That is cool. There's a lot of like fun tools that you can use. I do like the Gaussian channel. I wonder what it's like. What would it be like on the 1 minute for scalping the Gaussian? Maybe it's a little delayed. I don't know.
Yeah.
You'd get a lot of Yeah, I reckon it'd be too noisy, like, because you get a lot of signals on the 1 minute.
Yeah, like I said, even like the 15-minute, it's just there are some false, but if it gets into what like Turbo likes to say, when it's making cats in an upward direction, you can definitely use it. So it has a little nit.
When it gets like the pump on, yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Loving it.
I'd rather have a tool that kind of like the GANs that I could be like, okay, what is my to double check my visual, what's my resistance and support, and then just trade price action. I love doing that.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, you can't beat market structure. Some of the clearest way to look at what's happening is no indicators. Just read the structure and draw, either trend lines or supports and resistances. That's like the fundamental. I think that's where everyone should start their analysis from, is just with no indications whatsoever, and just use your understanding of the structure, like the market structure. And it's so basic, like it's just, are we making higher lows and higher highs, or are we making lower highs and lower lows, like, or a mix of those, like, and that gives you a lot. And trying to like establish where like a line of resistance is. Like 38,000 recently for Bitcoin has been very much a level to beat, and now that we've beaten it, it's like, yep, that's bullish as hell. And the people that saw that break of 38 and rode it have been seeing really juicy profits up to like 7%, 7.5%. Right, just from the breakout of 38. That's really cool. Not bad.
Yep. From when BTC made its move, basically, from 38 range into where we are now, that's where with Doge, the plays where I was playing the most and taking the most chunk of profits.
Nice.
It's like, oh, dude, BTC really is a great indicator for alts, for everything. It's just, I've learned so much about the money moving in and out of USDT to BTC to the alts during these things, like how they sell off, trickle into another, and it's getting to the point where it switches up as the markets change, you're trying to constantly adjust, but it's fun to start to see the rhythm look good.
Hell yeah. Yes, yeah. It's so different to how before, when we achieved a high, we'd be sort of scared of it, and so many swing fails would happen. And now it's like, when we're at resistance and we start to break it, you can be a bit more confident in a breakout play now. Oh, yeah, it's my connection. I'm gonna have to wrap this up, I think, this stream. I'm gonna, Yeah, I'm gonna wrap my YouTube stream up at least. I'll say thanks for tuning in.
Bueno.
I'll catch you on the next stream, guys.